The story I will share tonight with you starts with this picture. I was 5 years old, threading beads, making my first necklaces. I was creative. I used to love to draw. I used to paint. My parents thought they would give me the best education. So I had the opportunity to go to well-known schools. This classical education gave me, obviously, the sense of hard work, rigor, and structure. This led me naturally to a corporate life. So I started to work for Ernst & Young in the Silicon Valley. I worked there for the entrepreneurial consulting group. Then I moved to London to work with Triangle Management Services, to work as a consultant in logistics. I enjoyed corporate life, according, obviously, to the project and the people I was working with. But I was happy to make a break, and once in my career, I had the chance and the opportunity to make a trip to Tahiti. This trip to Tahiti was a life changer. My parents used to travel to Tahiti every year. When I was 20 years old, my parents started to go there every year. They discovered the lagoons of Tahiti and the pearls. Tahitian pearls are sea pearls, oyster pearls, that provide the most natural colors in the world. So I had the opportunity that summer to discover this culture and pearls. I must say that I fell in love with pearls. And I thought, why not take this beautiful material, natural material, and make different jewelry out of it? Why not associate it with other types of materials, such as, for example, turquoise or coral, to make something different? A lot of jewelry with pearls are pretty classical. And there, my project was born, and I decided to go towards this entrepreneurial journey. Obviously, in Tahiti, I decided to educate myself about pearls. So I had the opportunity to visit farms, to train my eyes. I bought pearls, which I brought back to Luxembourg with me. I got contacts with professionals there. I went to the Ministry also of Pearls, got information, documentation, which I brought back with me to Luxembourg. This documentation I still use nowadays with my clients. I also bought the machine, which I'm still using to piece my pearl, a Japanese machine, Yotsuba. And this was a great experience. I also started to learn jewelry techniques. For example, braiding, such as braiding leather. And this was great. So I'm coming to my point tonight about education. What I realized in Tahiti, and what I realized because I decided really to go for a totally different field, was that I needed to pursue my passion to really educate myself. And this is the key message I will share with you tonight. I came from a very different sector, from a very classical background, and I decided to move really towards another field. And from there on, I really kept on educating myself. This is the key message. Following this stay in Tahiti, I really decided, and this is my classical part coming back to the surface, to formalize my knowledge of pearl. And this, obviously, came via the study of gemology. Gemology is a science of natural pearls and stones, of gems. It enables you to make the difference between natural materials, imitation. You can understand the treatments, for example, of certain materials. Gemology is a field which is constantly evolving. initially I had the opportunity to study to l'Institut National de Gémologie in Paris. Then I had the great opportunity to study at the Agathe Gem School in Nice. And there, a lot of advices were given me about the tools used in gemology. And I invested in a lot of these tools, especially this microscope. Also, as this sector is always evolving, I keep updating myself via a lot of webinars, information given, for example, via the GIA, the Gemological Institute of America. Once I had studied gemology, I had to become an actual jeweler. Jewelry making gathers a lot of techniques. It can be work about metal, for example, heating metal, bending metal, creating effects with metal, soldering, setting stones. It can also be assemble stones together, pearls, work with wire, thread beads. Once again, I had to educate myself. For example, I followed evening classes that were given at le Lycée Technique de Bonnevoie back then. I also went to Paris to have private classes. Eventually, I surrounded myself with jewelers I'm working with. We obtained this way the label Made in Luxembourg. We were the first ones to obtain it in Luxembourg. To help really carry on my project, I joined la Fédération des femmes chefs d'entreprise from the start. I'm currently vice president of this association. This association gathers 200 women entrepreneurs in Luxembourg that have their own business. And at that time, this association gave me really contacts, tips, ideas to move on and to pursue my passion. This is the atelier that we have kept developing. And I want also to show you how, via education also, our jewelry has evolved. That means that we started with custom jewelry, and we went towards high-end jewelry, even though we still show custom jewelry, and we still work on all levels of jewelry, and this is a choice in our project. I'm coming now to a very important point of a presentation, which is more about the future, really, of jewelry making. And technology is really changing this world. And we needed really to embrace that change. So I had really the opportunity 2 years ago to work with Lux Innovation on our business plan. And we could participate in the Fit for Digital project. This was a great way to work with a consultant and really to identify the areas of our business where we could really invest. This was another opportunity, really, to educate ourselves about new options. For example, we invested in laser soldering and engraving. We invested in a digital microscope, which is once again related to gemology. That means that if a client comes to us, brings a stone, we can actually use our microscope, dive in the stone 170 times, which is a huge magnification. And our clients can look at the inside of a stone and the occlusions on their smartphone. This is also education. Also, a big trend in jewelry making, and this is transforming the industry, is really the 3D design technology. And I had to train myself for that. This tool enables me nowadays to create designs. As you can see, these are designs, for example, we created recently. So to work directly with our clients online, we can change the color of a metal, the width of a band. We can do anything. So I'm coming now really to the main idea. As you could see from the description of my project, really, and from my history is really about education and constant education. So you could see that from each step to the following, I had always to push the barriers. And while pushing the barriers, I could really sustain my passion. This is the key message for you tonight. It's really via constant education throughout life that you can really pursue your passion. And I've left a golden key for you here, which you should really treasure. I hope this key helps you unlock your potentials, help you grow, and you have to believe in yourself to really push your boundaries. And you have to keep educating yourself. Thank you very much.